Hi, everyone. It's good to see you.
Hi.
Actually, I'm not seeing you at all. No, I'm having trouble with my camera, so I'm going to be in the shadows, but you will have my voice. And Lalit is here. How was your day, Lalit? How was
Oh,
your week?
oh boy, I want to start by thanking everybody
Oh,
because last week I asked for prayers because if you weren't here and you didn't hear, my son Amadeo had a little there's no such thing as a small fracture in your neck, but he had a hairline fracture in his cervical vertebrae, and the doctor said maybe he'll need surgery. But I said, look, you're not going to need surgery. I know it. And certainly with all your prayers, they're working. For the first to get rid, he's feeling much better now. And keep it up, please. His name is Amadeo, and we're all really thankful. And I think he's going to avoid the surgery. And he's on the mend, so that's great
awesome.
news. And I did want to start out talking about Amadeo again because there's a little story I wanted to bring up that I think is pertinent to all of us here. Deborah, you and I, everyone out there in YouTube land, we're all feeling it. And I had this experience with my son. And I saw Tim Waltz and his daughter. Maybe you saw them on the carnival ride, where I think it's called the Big Shot, where they're going around. And he said, "I don't know what it is, but I'm good to go." Then they're well. I took my son when he was 10 or 12 to the county fair over where Deborah lives now, the Del Mar Fair, and there was a ride that my son had to go on. He just had to go, and he was very tall for his age, so he passed the test to go in, and he had to go. I didn't think it was a very good idea, but he had to. So, all right, so he had to go, and of course, the second it started, I mean, within 2 seconds, he's going, "Make it stop, Mom! Make it stop! Make it stop!" And that's kind of, I think, where we all are this week because, but you remember, we signed up for this ride. We asked for it. We said, "Oh yeah, we could do that. I'm good." We have lessons to learn here. We signed up. So keep that in mind. Don't ever forget it. You're here, and you're here for a reason, because we're in the graduate school of planet Earth, the hardest planet in the universe. And all the ETs tell us, we admire you because this is really hard to go in this density. It's hard.
I'm going to make a prediction actually about all that in a little while. But I first want to say hello to everybody. But also there was a comment about the intro, and I love my intro. I worked really hard on the intro and outro, but all of a sudden YouTube is starting to throw me some copyright stuff, even though I own the music. But it's just gotten so tedious. Everything is fiddly, right? Fiddly. And so I'm not going to use the outro or the intro, but I love the graphics. I'm going to find, Lalit
I'm going to make Deborah some music for the intro.
So.
We'll get something started, and we'll get something for next week, and then she can custom design it to what she likes, because that's my thing, is music and astrology. So I'm going to get Deborah some music that she doesn't have to. It'll be her music for sure.
Well, you have to give me the license for it.
Nobody will have it. Nobody will have it. Only you, Deborah. Only you.
Do you want my prediction?
Yeah, please.
So you know how you talk about all those the planets are aligning the same as the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, all those wars. And so people are thinking, oh no, there's not going to be another war. I don't think there will be another world war. No, not at all. But what is going to bring us together? And I believe the second week of August. I have no idea what that might look like in the stars.
August
of 2025.
Okay. Oh, by then. Oh,
but I believe it's going to be undeniable.
Oh, yes.
Alien. We are going to.
That's right.
We are going to be able, with our friends from space, to join together and really work together to figure this out. So that's my prediction. Second week of August 2025. maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, or around that time.
Well, you're not. I have it on good authority, Deborah. For those of you who've heard of Bashar, who know who Bashar is, Bashar said that because of all our good work, that is, all of us light bearers, people here who are working toward a new earth, he said it has been such a big, successful movement that's mushrooming. And with each person that adds on, it expands exponentially, and that we have worked so hard on it that we actually sped the timeline up for first contact by about
Oh.
8 years.
Oh my gosh.
We've sped it up because of the vibration is changing so quickly now that there's going to be contact 25, 26, between 25 and 26.
Awesome.
And he said 26 would be the big one, but already beginning to ease in now, and gradually more and more, so that people won't freak out, and it'll be gradually easing into it. But certainly 25 and 26 are the years. So Bashar is saying the same thing.
Oh, good. Wow, that's great.
I think he knows.
I don't follow him, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's.
I just saw here that Karen Doyle. I don't have my camera working tonight, but she just got her dowsing rods.
Oh.
So I would like you, Karen, to. Oh, she says she loves Bashar too. Karen, when we get to questions, and you can help us answer them with your dowsing rods, yes or no?
Yeah.
All right.
I saw an interesting booklet last week on how to douse. All about dowsing, and I didn't have time to look into that book, but I'll get that. I'll find that for you. And,
okay.
And it's a really good thing. I have my dowsing rods ready to go.
Awesome. Yes. So Karen gave a thumbs up on that she's going to join us for questions.
All right. One thing, make sure to always, when you're doing dowsing or pendulum, to find to set it at the beginning and say, "Show me." So that so you have things easily right here, and you do the same with a pendulum. Show me yes. Show me yes. So you see a yes, boom, goes that way for yes. Show me no. Oh, we're only going yes today. That's good. No. So show me no. Okay. So always set it. Always calibrate it. Your pendulum also, just when you're getting started, say, show me yes, show me no, so that it's a little warm up. It's a good tip.
So I think she did practice with it a little bit. Sherry from Voices from the Swamp, I'm going to see you pretty soon. I'll have my camera ready by that time. We're going to do a show together. Thank you for being here. And Karen, so get ready. You're dowsing after the presentation with our beautiful Lalit about what to expect. Then we'll get into questions. Please, whilst Lalit is doing, prepare your questions in all capital letters. But since I don't have the computer on, I can use my glasses. So I think I'll be better now. Hey, Sherry's going to use her dowsing rods.
Sherry, I just see what you wrote about your surgery, and that's something big. I'm going to review all your comments later. Oh, there you are. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh my goodness, that is shocking. I know my son's going to have a lot easier time than that.
Well, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you. I've got to tell you, I'm going to be on the other side. I did have to have neck surgery, and it was just so much. My life was so much better. So, I mean, there's some that is, it's a line to that.
Yeah.
So I guess not.
I had six little surgeries on my spine and double hip replacement surgery. So, and when my doctor sees me, he says, "Lalit, look at you. Do you remember when you came in here 2 years ago? I couldn't walk. I couldn't move. I'm feeling better every day." And I said, "Yes." And every day I feel younger and better and stronger and happier. And that's how we're all going to be.
Yep. Kim B is saying, "I only see your picture." I know, but it's a cool picture. I'm having trouble with my camera. Either the camera works or
well, we've got your voice and your vibration. So you take care of that, and I'll talk about some astrology.
I'll work on my camera. on my camera. You do you. Okay.
15 or 20 minutes of talking. And everybody, I think this is such an important week. I think that I'm going to have to get my Astrology channel back up and running. I've been working on it for so long, wanting to get things started, but I think this is going to be the week that I'm going to do a show about this full moon coming up, because it's so big. There's no way I can even begin to cover the things that are happening this coming week. That's so many. So I've boiled it down to just some like regular talk, not too much geeky stuff, so that I can save that for the astrology channel, go a little more in depth. But I want to talk to you about what's coming up. And I want to use a couple of pictures and a couple of references. And I wanted to start out with one week, Deborah was wondering about, we had seen some planets that were in a triangle shape, and I said it's a square angle. So there was some confusion about that. So I want to talk about that very briefly, showing you some pictures and some things learning aids that'll help you just really understand it inside of you, easy peasy. And we're going to start out with a reference from Shakespeare. All of you remember the lovely play about, well, lovely is not the word, the play, Romeo and Juliet. And at the beginning of the play, Shakespeare, I haven't looked it up to get the exact reference, but he introduces the character saying, this is a tale about the star-crossed lovers. That's the sum of it. So we know how that one went, and we know what star-crossed meant, and we've heard that word. And I'm going to show you a graphic picture of what a cross looks like in astrology. But you all know, you all have the image. Here's a beautiful, expensive learning aid right here for a cross. This will keep all the Draculas away. So there's a cross. You'll notice that there's a vertical axis, there's a horizontal axis, and they form 4 little 90-degree angles at every sum there. Now, in astrology, any two of these is either 180, like from here to here, or 90 from here to here, a right angle. This is my little sewing square for making quilts. I love sewing. I'm a really geeky person. I love sewing and making quilts and stuff like that. This is a little square for sewing. And you have them. I have them also for doing projects around the house. You know what a 90-degree angle looks like. Boy, this thing is transparent. You can hardly see it, huh? But you know what it is. 90-degree angle. That's easy. It's not hard. So another reference is the compass cross that you see on a map. Even on Google Maps, you can have a up and down, north south, east west axis. And that's all that it is. And in the zodiac, when you have that formation, it will at the beginning of the zodiac, we have Aries, and that is called it is the cardinal sign. We're talking cardinal, north, south, east, west. So I'm going to quickly bring up this little thing here, and I drew on it the orange. Oops, it's not showing. Let me click again. I learned I have to do that twice. There it is. Okay. So the orange horizontal axis runs through Aries and Libra. That's where we had that big eclipse. Is it possible only a week ago? We got another full moon coming up still on this axis, Libra and Aries, which I've circled in orange. I've circled the glyph. I forgot to circle the word Libra and Aries, but you see it there on the horizontal plane. And we're having a full moon next week on Thursday. Yes, the 3rd super moon in a row of 4. Egads, my elderly aunt would say that. Egads, oh no. In the Wizard of Oz, the lions, the tigers, the bears, oh my, it's kind of like that because this is just intense. Now look at the north-south axis. It's Capricorn to Cancer. Now these 4 signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, are the signs you'll notice that happen when the seasons change. The beginning of the new season. Now, I'm from San Diego, so it sort of all blends together there. But here in Nevada, we have a little more of it, but not as much as they have in other places. But when it's Aries, the spring begins. And then when it's Cancer, the beginning of summer. Libra is another equinox like Aries, where the days and nights are of equal length, and it's the start of autumn. And Capricorn is the start of winter. So all four signs are cardinal. They're the starting point of the cycle. And that's in astrology. They're all representing of signs that are initiating things, okay, beginnings of things. Following, and whenever you have relationships between things in all cardinal signs, is called a cross, because they're forming 90-degree angles to each other. You could have two of them forming a square, you could have three, or when you have all four, you got a grand cross. Not because it's so grand, but it's big. So the picture that you see here is a cardinal cross, which is what we have. We've got the sun and moon in Libra and Aries, and then we've got Mars in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn. Oh my gosh, that's right. So that's a big one. Now I'd like to mention that Mars and Pluto are called upper octave. Pluto is the upper octave of Mars. In other words, it's at the same frequency. And I want to make a little drawing. It's going to be green instead of red, of a sine wave. A sine wave is a frequency, vibration. So let's say that Mars has that frequency. Pluto is the upper octave, so it's going to be like this. So Pluto's going to be the one on top. But they line up. The peak of each wave lines up with the thing above it. So those waves come together to make a humongous, like, tidal wave, tsunami. So they are not forming if the waves didn't line up, they would make interference patterns. You've all seen that when you throw a pebble in a pond or something and it sends waves out. And if you throw another one in another place in the pond, the waves go out and they will interfere with each other if they don't just line up. They will cross and make little tiny bumpy waves and choppy water. But when the waves line up, like when the frequency is lined up, you will get one big wave because they blend together to make a big pattern. So when Pluto and Mars get together, that's the nature of the game. Talking about where Debra lives in Oceanside. The very last time that I was in the Pacific Ocean was, and I grew up in San Diego, so I used to be on the beach all the time. That's why I have these marks all over me, because I'm a sun worshiper. But I was in the ocean with my son and my husband, and we were all boogie boarding. So we had a boogie board at Scripps Pier in La Jolla. And I've never been in the ocean and seen this, but I looked out and there was a rogue wave just one wave, just one. And it was over 20 feet tall. You went, oh my God. This wall of water coming really fast. So I'm not a real good swimmer. I love swimming, but I'm not a strong swimmer. And in the ocean, it's tough. So I just grabbed a boogie board. I know I'm going to hit the bottom. This is going to pound me right into the ground. I'm going to hit the bottom. So I'm going to take a big breath, hold it, hang on, and don't let go for anything. So that was my plan. So this wave came, and I had my eyes closed. And when I opened them, I see white water, and I'm like flying through the air. And I actually flipped up, turned around, and I rode the wave all the way we were way out toward the end of the pier, all the way into shore. And I was the only person that happened to just, by I'm not any kind of expert surfer, just by the fluke of nature, I was just in the right place. So that of the whole group of people that was there, I disappeared. And everyone's saying, well, where'd she go? She's gone. Maybe she's dead. They're all thinking I died because I might have hit the bottom and didn't come up. I just vanished. And I'm on the shore and I'm going, here I am. I'm here. So it's sort of like this. So you got the rogue wave, Pluto and Mars together, that makes it big. So you have an image. What happens when two planets are in the same vibrational frequency? One is an upper octave. They make a big wave that's loud. So Pluto and Mars together have a similar energy that lines up. And what is that? It's transformational. Pluto will bring secrets out. So you're going to expect to see, it's already happening because this was true last week, during the eclipse. So you're seeing that secrets being released. Bob Woodward came out with a book. What is it called? Is it called Fear? No, Fear is the one that I have. Bob Woodward's new book. You've got Epstein things, you've got the Supreme Court, you've got the Smith documents and secrets, and Pete Diddy getting exposed, and it's like an explosion of things that were hidden that are coming to light. Expect more. Is it possible? Yes, there are things. Expect more things that are coming out. I mean, even Melania came out and is saying, well, I believe in a woman's right to choose and choosing for her own body. I mean, things that, you don't expect to hear. So things are still coming out, and they will be. There will be secrets. Putin talking to Trump. 7 conversations at least they turned out that he had. So that he sent him Trump sent him the COVID testing, and it's just it's so sordid and terrible. So things are coming out, and things are hidden, and there's some people try to repress things. Now, on this topic, I do want to remember to say, everybody, please make sure you're registered to vote, because it's trying to be squelched. This isn't the things that are hidden that are trying to be repressed. Make sure you're registered. Register early. Go to vote as soon as you can. If you're in a place where you can go early, please. Please go early. It will smooth things out. Everybody that votes early, that's a plus. So, so the things that are coming out as part of this Grand Cross. Let's look at the Grand Cross a little bit more, because I want to say that when in astrology, you can tell if there's a 90-degree angle between things if they are the same quality. It's like in tarot cards. This is the cardinal. Next, we have fixed signs. So after a cardinal sign, you have a fixed sign like Taurus, where things get settled and solidified. And these people tend to be more stubborn and hard-headed, like Taurus, Capricorn people, the Taurus people, Scorpio people tend to be more hard-headed. And then you have a mutable sign. Gemini is the mutable sign after Taurus. So what's happening now is that we are having the fixed cross in the cardinal sign. So things are starting, they're changing. We're in a period of transition. And Pluto is a planet of transformation. We are entering the age of Aquarius. Now, added to that, you think we could have more? And the supermoons, everything is intense. Pluto has now stationed. That means that it was moving along. And you remember it went retrograde, went back from Aquarius back into Capricorn. It's going backwards. Now it's stopped. And it's at a dead standstill. That's called station. It's not moving forward or backward. It was going backwards. Station, direct. It's going to slowly start moving forward again, and then go into Aquarius. And then we can all breathe a sigh of relief, but we can feel it has already started, because that station is very powerful. It's big planet still, and it's like focusing energy like a laser beam. It's more powerful. So everything is on steroids here. We have Mars and Pluto together. Pluto is changing direction. It's stationary. We've got the supermoons, we've got the eclipses, and here's happening. I have a picture from last week. Remember that the sun and Mars, the red line, were square. And I said, that's in Cancer, you're going to have more water, more water, more water. And it's not going to be good for people's houses and stuff. Jupiter, which is a benefic, really wonderful planet, normally is good and happy. You say, oh, Jupiter, yeah, everything is great. But Jupiter makes excess more. So we've been having more than we needed of the water. And luckily this week, Mars will have this is the coming up full moon on October 17th. So mark your calendar. This is Thursday of next week. So it'll be the day before our show. We'll talk, everyone like to have you share your experiences from the last eclipse to this full moon, and tell us in the chat next week, what did you experience? So looking at this, you can clearly see, I marked it ahead of time because I'm so bad at the drawing program. So I made a red cross. You see sun and moon opposite, Aries and Libra. The red planets are Pluto and Mars, and they're in Cancer and Capricorn. And each of those is forming a 90-degree angle to the things around it, unless they're opposite, and then it's 180, obviously. I pointed things out. So this is the nature of this next full moon, which is a super moon, meaning it's at the closest possible position to the Earth. The moon is the closest place, so it's more powerful. Add Jupiter in Gemini. Now this is it's circled at the top of the chart in blue. It's in Gemini. Now this is wonderful because Gemini is an air sign, and so is Libra, where the sun is, right? They're both air. So whenever you see planets in the same quality, that is air or fire, all fire, or water, it's like in the tarot cards. You know, you have a suit of things. Of the cups are all water, and they're related to emotional things, and they're one family, and they blend together nicely. And whenever planets are in one element, like water, they blend together nicely, and they are 120 degrees apart. A triangle, that's called a trine. And in astrology, when you have that geometry, and it's been shown that that triangle to nuclear physics shows like the basis of how the universe is formed, but the triangle is really good for energy flow and expansive and beautiful. It's smoothness. And we want to see some of that. And Jupiter, the planet of great benefic, is trine to the sun. That's as good a thing as you can have. Mars being square to the sun is as bad a thing as you can have. So we've got the push me, pull you this week. We have extreme things that are, problems. We have the hurricane cleanup and stuff like that, but there's going to be some good things coming out also. So we will have mitigation of fortunate things. I mean, it's kind of like, well, I was in that car accident and I got $100,000. Now I can buy a house, something like that. Okay, so there will be good things that will mitigate the bad, because the Jupiter is going to ease the pain with some really good things. And I'd like to point out to all of you people, everyone here is involved with spirit. And we have some beautiful aspects. Let me go back to this thing coming up. We have Mercury, which is communication, really close to the sun. And Mercury is in Scorpio these are in strong relationship to Pluto and Mars. So mediumship is heightened. Spirit realm is heightened. So all of you who are practicing your skills, whether it be with your dowsing rods or whether it be automatic writing, Mercury governs the hand and automatic writing, whether anything in the Pluto realm is the spirit realm, and the moon also are people on the other side of the veil, and communication with spirit in all ways, whatever way it is, whether you're communicating with your pets or your plants. I mean, plants are also involved in spirit. They have their own sentient communication skill. This is a whole nother topic. I have a lot to say about that because I'm a plant lover, and I know a lot about plants, and I have some unusual stories that I'd like to share with you on another day because there's too much to talk about now. So coming back, so this is the good side, is that it's going to heighten all your sensitivities, all your talents. And this is a moment for deep inspiration, for understanding your future path, for knowing why you're born here on earth and what is your purpose. And you'll be getting a lot of assistance from your guides. Keep talking to them, and don't forget that joy and gratitude are the keys to happiness no matter what's happening around you. So you can express gratitude for having these difficult lessons. Say, I know that this lesson is something that's going to make me a better person, and I'm grateful for the chance. A little less gratitude, a little less, it's going to be big, but just remember, love and gratitude are the keys to getting you through this. And be breathing. You know how to do the slow breath out so that your exhale is longer than your inhale. That's the key. If you forget everything else, you remember that your inhale is deep, but shorter than the exhale. As you exhale, it needs to take more time. That opens up the vagus nerve that flows, bringing us back to the connection of the neck and the spine. That vagus nerve controls all your organs and your brain and everything, and it will help you sleep better and feel more relaxed. So inhale. I like to do a 6, 7, 8 breath, where I'm breathing in to 6, hold for 7, and out for 8, and then in again, 6, 7, 8. And that's a good one. That's one of the ones that I like to use. So breathe deeply and remember that. So next week, Thursday, the day before our show, October 17, mark your calendars. The time will be for Pacific time, 4:26 a.m. And I'd like to alert you, if you check on Google, what time does that eclipse happen? Every time when I look on Google for time of full moon, eclipse, whatever, they give me the wrong time. I don't know why. So beware of that. But the real time is 4:26 a.m. Pacific. So, that's 1:30 in the morning on October 17th, if you're on the East Coast. So that is the time of this full moon. And remember, this is the height of the cycle. So what your intentions were last week during the eclipse, this is the culmination of that. And then for the following couple of weeks, you can clean up on the details, taking care of not new things, but taking care of the things you need to, details of pulling things together. And I do have a full moon meditation on my channel that I've made. I'd like to maybe redo some of those things, but I put in there the actual sound of the moon, the sound recording. When Voyager was sent out, it made recordings of all the planets. We have the actual sound of the moon, of Venus, of Mars, of Jupiter, Saturn. They've recorded the sound. And so I put that little vibration sound in there to help for your meditation. And so really, it's going to be an intense week, but we are entering a real big transformation on all levels. We have these super moons, 4 in a row. We have a series of eclipses. We have Pluto changing direction, and we have entering the age of Aquarius, a 2,000-year cycle. The Pluto cycle is 250 years to get all the way around. It's about 20 years in a sign. Think back. Pluto entered Capricorn. Guess when? Does anybody remember anything unusual in 2008? Boy, I do. Boom, boom, whack. The housing market. Wow. In Capricorn, which is structures and, real estate and stuff like that. So it's been there ever since. And I feel it now starting to move out. And I'm feeling for the first time since 2008, like I'm breathing more freely. It's going to be so much better when Pluto finally gets out of there. It's coming. And so the end of this year and into the beginning of next year, things will be getting so much different. We're going to be in a new world. So keep that firm in your mind. We're heading for a real change in the way things, we're out of that cycle that started way back then. And it's going to be such a breath of relief. And there is, of course, in any transition, a lot of hard work and difficulties, but it's going to be great. And you have that goal in mind. You know what the bullseye is. It's going to be humanitarian principles. People are going to be better taken care of in healthcare and in universal things. People will be able to buy houses, and normal people will be feeling much better off. So, and we won't have the craziness that we have now. You'll be able to be breathing a sigh of relief. It won't happen in a day, but it is coming. So have the faith.
Yeah, that is good. Wow. That's a good pep talk.
I have one last comment.
All right, I'll get
one
out
last
of here.
thing. You don't have to get out. You watch this. Just the outer planets are the big ones of cycles. Pluto is in 29 degrees. I'm born with the sun in 29 degrees of Libra. Anyone with planets in 29 degrees is feeling that. But look around. Neptune in 26. We talked about that last time. Uranus is 26. Jupiter is in 21 and moving faster. All of the big planets, all of them are changing sign at one time. One at a time is enough. But it's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. A domino effect. So you'll be feeling changes in so many areas. So it's a magic carpet ride. And you'll be able to look back and tell your grandchildren, say, yes, I remember in 2024, what a year that was. I lived through it. You get a badge of honor. We all signed up. You're here for a reason. What are the lessons you're here to learn? Ask yourself, what are you here to learn? Because you chose this ride.
And if you're at a loss with that, be firm with your guides. Say, look, you're on my side. Gimme right now. Make it clear as
yes. Ask your side. They're there to. That's what they're there for. When you ask, they're happy. They're waiting for you to ask. I saw that. Did you see the lady on Suzanne Geisman, the Irish lady that says, "Oh, there are unemployed angels up there. These unemployed angels are waiting, just sitting there in the unemployment office, waiting for your call." So please, help those guys.
I think guides, because I call the clipboard people. They have your blueprint. They point you in the direction, and then they think, well, they've given you enough information. I'm sure you're going to lean into what you're supposed to do, and you don't, and they just roll their eyes. That's how I picture them. But we've got some things here. Wait, Kim B says, I have multiple 26s. My son, for example, and my Venus.
Oh, yeah.
Degrees of it's interesting. Astrology.
Yes.
I do have some other questions. Statements. Oh, Sherry, thank you so much. Y'all hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate that.
Yes. So Kim, this will affect you so deeply. So you've got Sun in 29. You have Venus in 29 Scorpio. I have the Moon in 25 of Scorpio. Yeah. It's just for both of us. It's the emotional realm. and it's relationships. So, and very deep. So it's powerful, very powerful, but it's going to be a wonderful change. You're going to be so happy.
Okay. I've got, Kim, since we started with you as a little accident, I was supposed to start with someone else, Annie. She gave first. Thank you so much. There was a question here. If you're taking donations, just a minute, Lily, if you're taking donations, you always get put up to the front of the line. But what were you going to say, Lily?
I wanted to say to Kim, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just was getting excited because I couldn't hold back, and I didn't mean to interrupt you like
No,
that.
that's fine.
But for Kim, message from Galactic Family. I sent for a new set of the Oracle deck from extraterrestrials. That is published by, if you remember, Uri Geller. It's not out yet, but I'm signed up for the first release date. It's released on, if you've got the sun in Scorpio, right there, 22nd of October. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to have an oracle deck to answer your question. So be sure to come after that, and we'll give you a little reading from that new oracle deck. I have no idea what it is, but it's messages from it's how to get messages from extraterrestrials. So
that's cool.
Come in a couple of weeks and we'll give you an oracle card.
Ashtar, the higher council that might come in. Now, I do have a message, and that is, but it's specifically towards money and work. And that means that you have done, your work is very good. Whatever your work is, you're doing very good. And because of that, I think there's going to be a new, I got the Ace of Pentacles, which means the new avenue of income or a new bounty of some sort. And that will be this week coming up. So Galactic Family. And if you're interested in your soul group, your planet of origination, I still have that half price on it's called a soul profile. And that tells you whether you're a mono soul or a walk-in soul, your planet of origin, your divine gifts. I also go into soul specialization. You get a lot of in there, but it is half price. I never took it off half price. So you might want to take advantage of that if you would like. Let me just take that. I'm going to go to Annie. Hi, Lalit. Rising sun. Oh, I love the way you. Whoa. What is blocking my weight loss?
Well, could it be all the planets retrograde? Those are the big blocks.
Oh,
when they start moving forward, that's when things start opening up. And it's happening very soon. Pluto is stationed right now. That means it's still. Pluto's the first to go. All the planets are retrograde, all of them. Look at what we had. Here was last week. You've got Pluto retrograde. You've got Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Uranus retrograde, and all of the big outer planets from Saturn on are all retrograde all at once. Now they're all going to move. Whoops, I put it, didn't click. I have to do it twice for it to go. There we go. So all of them are retrograde. That's highly unusual. And now they're starting to open up with Pluto first. It's stationed, not yet open, but we are beginning to breathe a sigh of relief. Yes, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And especially when Saturn gets going, which is body weight and the lack of it's kind of the lack of movement. It's something, everything's in stasis for a while, and so things are going to start opening up. I want to have a whole show on my channel with the details about this, and there's a lot to talk about, and too much for today with that full moon coming up.
We could always come back.
We're going to come back and talk about these all the big planets moving, and it's starting right now with Pluto station, and it's not going forward yet, but it's stopped moving backwards. So we're going the right way now. Everything's been on hold. and it's going to
Right.
start moving fast, and then it'll be like, fasten your seatbelt. Oh, we're going at warp speed. Now we're going to go from that to warp speed. So expect opening there, and we'll talk further about that next week.
All right. Awesome. Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, is learning to scry with a crystal ball. I'm looking forward to talking to you more about that. I love different ways to. Now, Cynthia, thank you for your donation. I have a question for both tonight. Why, when I see someone who needs healing, I wasn't to my.
I think she means I want.
Oh,
I think that S should be an A, want.
Oh, I want to lay your hands on them to heal them with heat from my hands.
The wounded healer, when you heal someone else, you're also healing yourself, because the energy is flowing also through you. So so that is a natural. When you're a healer, you got a healer, got to heal, right?
Yeah, but
fish got to swim.
If you do have heat, something physical that happens to you, form that ball with both hands, because if it's long distance, you can catapult that ball of energy to that person who needs healing. It's having your hands warm up is one of the phenomena of a psychic skill that you're quite good at. So, and laying on hands, for entertainment purposes, of course, blah, 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 but you need to have a hands-on license. You need to be a hairdresser, an esthetician, some medical field stuff to be able to actually touch someone. So I'm just putting it out there so you would have the right paperwork for them to sign or whatever. Just saying.
Well, since Deborah doesn't have a camera, I'm her interpreter. I'm doing American Sign Language like this.
Remember,
you have that crazy person on the side who's making faces.
Was it this? Funny. Wasn't it this show last week? My camera went out and I was a green screen behind me.
Yes.
Yeah. Is this? So Mother Nature is here. God bless you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Mother Nature. I love it. Now, how is November 15th going to go?
To November 15th. Well, sweetie, you know what? This full moon coming is the harbinger of things to come. The after election day, we know there's going to be some no civil war, no civil war. Maybe there might be some crazies, some skirmishes, but relatively small. Nothing big like January 6th. Okay, there's nothing going to be like that, and it's nothing big, around the country. But there is energy that is combative out there, because there are some people that are resisting, because this is the moment of choice, and there are people taking train A, and there's people taking the B train. That's why you see this diversity now, that there are some unresolved things. So there will be there's going to be a different planets for different people later. Is how it's going to work out. And so you can look forward to that happy day. And that's why we're seeing this contrast right now. We've never had contrast like this that we have now. But it makes it clear which side you're on,
Right.
Very few undecided still. So it's going to be intense.
But good. I want to teach everyone how to find out the number energy for any date. So this is 11, which would be 11, 15. So you add 1115, which is of course 8. And then you move into the universal of the year, which is 2024, which is 8. So you add.
Is that a transformation?
Well, what it is mystical. It's 8 for the day, and 8 for the year is 16. You add 1 and 6. 7 is your master for that day. And so that is when you will have an impulse to do scrying, to do your pendulum, to do all of that stuff. Oh, and I wanted to include
Pluto.
Pluto.
Pluto to the right of us.
Oh,
Pluto to
stinker.
the left.
Get rid of Pluto.
Yes.
I used to feel sorry for him because he was the last one and the littlest, but now not so much. Not so much. So Mother Nature, that means that this is going to be very, very spiritual. And you, if something does rise up in front of you, you will definitely have the right things to say, the right things to do. Your best guess is going to be a winning guess, so winning action. So there's that. I'm still on the start page. Hypnicity. I'll do your numbers. Scheduled for replacement on 12/12/24. Well, 12 is 3 plus 12, which is 3, plus 8, which is 20/24. Don't forget the extra 2. And we've got the energy of 5. So what I think will happen in that day, that things happen really quick. Inspiration happens quick. Changes happens quick. And so if perhaps, you know how you go into something and it's like, we're going to live, we're going to die. We're going to live, we're going to die, right? It's like not knowing what's going on. Just stay neutral. He's going to be fine. It's going to be really good because you both are part of the system that needs to be on the planet, and you have to be comfortable on the planet. But the 5 means that just don't react to anything. If the doctor says, oh, it's going to be an hour more, don't react to it. That kind of thing. So that's what I would say. Do you have anything astrological?
I was thinking that the protection, you can make a little protect golden light coming around you when you're feeling the stress and things are bearing in on you. You know, protect yourself with a little shower of golden speckles of light falling around you, and breathe. And then, you know, keep that attitude during the difficulty to be unswerving, so that you'll be you need to be the center of healing for your husband, so that you're able to give him the good vibes that he needs to get over the pain and stuff. And you'll make a good team.
Well, if he's anything like me, when I had my hip surgery, I was in such pain. I said, I don't care what it feels like with the surgery. I do not care. And the pain dissolved. There was different pain, you know, I mean, but it wasn't the pain of a hip. And he's waited for this for a long time, which is code for he's been in pain for a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And SR says, best of luck, positive vibes.
Yes.
And
yes. Here.
I'm just looking. Oh, hypnicity. So, I'm sorry, I missed your second part, and it's his birthday is 12/56. Okay. Let me just 12/9. Didn't I tell you? Okay.
Is that a 5 again?
No, I don't think so. Did you add that up to a 5?
Oh, please
did you
don't
forget
take it.
1 and 9?
I did 1, 2, 9, 5, 6.
No, it doesn't work. You have to do the 19 for the year. So let me redo this. I want to make sure I got it right. Okay, I'm right. So I told you before that both of you are supposed to be on the planet right now, like super duper. He's a 33 life path. So a highly evolved being, and can be a little bossy, but don't tell him I said that. And shh. But you already know that. Still love him.
Don't let him watch this show.
Yeah. But
change the channel.
He's supposed to be on the planet, so don't worry about that at all. Let me see. I'm looking through. Let me see the other questions real quick. Ethnicity. Did I do Cynthia's? Did I do Cynthia? Yeah, it was the healing one. Okay. Okay. JR says, I'm having trouble jumping back into my weight loss routine. Any messages from guides? We had kind of talked about that. And we did the astrological stuff. And then we got into the actual message of money. I think what the message is, I got to tell you, when you're obsessed with a fascination, you don't think about eating. You don't think about walking either, but if whatever your fascination is at the moment, even if it's just at the level of action of going to your computer and typing it into Google to find out more, do that and follow your fascination. And that is going to get you into the more grounded area of life in general, knowing what to eat and not even really getting hungry a lot of the times. You know how it feels when you're really in the zone. Yeah. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're depriving yourself. So plan out some things you can do that you love to eat, that you can eat, and have those little things handy that are fulfilling to you and satisfying. You don't want to feel deprived. So if there's a few things that you love, like a crab salad or something, you get get some of that crab flakes at the supermarket that are not expensive, and get something that you really love that you can eat and fulfill yourself. You want to feel joy of eating and not deprived right now. You don't want to be feeling at a loss. So find a way to eat and drink things that you love and have them on hand, so that when you feel that lack, you can fulfill it right away. Some good kind of tea drink or things that are on hand that'll make you happy. And that's a good trick.
All right. All right. That's good. Diamond, just a second here. Whoops. Wait a minute. JR and Diamond they have the same question, but Diamond's is different. I'm going to do a reading on you. Wow, that's crazy. Just a minute. Let me. Okay. All right. So here it is. I love these cards. I get so excited. I wish you could see my face beaming. So the very first card out is the death card, meaning that you're finally going to say enough about something. It's a natural ending. And any kind of thing you listen to, like following your fascination, just try it for a moment. I want to learn how to do a cake decorating or whatever. You research it, find a class, and you start studying with books and things. And but right next to that is the devil, which is your obsessive part. So when you eat something, you're just like me, sister. When you eat something, it's the whole bag or nothing, and so portion things out, 3 cookies on a plate versus the package to the sofa, that kind of thing. It still says, I mean, you have all these people who have trouble with their weight. Their money is coming to you. Money is coming. So, so I think it's when you follow your fascination, your cycle of reward tightens, and then you feel you don't even think about money. Or you can take up cake decorating. I don't know why that came into. I think I've always wanted to do cupcakes, but I didn't do that. So isn't that interesting? So here, SR is here. SR, question for Debra and Lalit. What is happening with P? That's her person of interest. His thoughts of me. Will I hear from him soon? So Karen, with the yes, no question of will I hear from him or see him soon, you can use your dowsing rods on that question, and I'll do the we'll do the others. So I'm waiting for you. So I'm going to do a card through on this. Well, the what I have here is that you're just about ready to give up on this track of this compulsive thinking. Okay, yeah, no, and it's gotta go. I think, yeah. So soon to me is always a 1 month thing, but since we do a weekly thing here, I'm going to say this, this, this week most likely is what we're talking about. And no, sorry. I think you did just fine. You were first between before Lalit and I. So I do have the world reversed, which means there's no winning. There's no winning this week. I also have the 9 of Wands, which actually is kind of good because you're starting to release the idea of him. You're all of a sudden going to become more generous and wanting to share that generosity with him, but you can't call him, you can't pursue him. I asked him, is he going to return with messages of love? I have 2 cards here, the reverse king, which says no. That's King of Cups, reverse King of Cups. So no messages of love doesn't mean he doesn't love you, but he doesn't want to encourage the relationship to a point where he's going to give gifts, because that encourages. Also, I have the Page of Swords reversed, which means he's being a little bit of a brat. He does know this is hurting you, but he's still not pursuing you. So he just can't. He just can't keep up the relationship the way you would like. Would you get, sweetheart?
Okay. SR, I'm glad you asked that question because it also reminded me of something I'd wanted to say earlier and did not say. So thank you for asking that question, because for you, it's particularly pertinent. And here's how I see it. I got that there will be, yes, better after the full moon, because at the moment of the full moon, there's a bit of a crisis intensity. Remember the Mars factor, which is combative, not particularly happy energy. It's very passionate, but it's better if you can wait till after the culmination of the full moon, because Mars is fading out. That's the aggressive combative part. And Jupiter is growing. So the Mars influence will be waning by then, and the happier, more communicative Gemini to Libra is really good for relationships, is going to be phasing in stronger. So my advice to you is that after, the Thursday during the daytime is good. After the full moon, and is better, because you'll be more sensible, less likely to have. This is true for everybody, but especially in a relationship like SR is talking about. You don't want to be hitting important, delicate situations when all of your nerves are firing and everything is super sensitive. When with like your nerves, it's like you're getting a root canal and it's like really sensitive. Everything's really heightened. After the full moon has passed, Mars will be waning. So the aggressive combating energy will be passing away slowly, and Jupiter growing. And it's better if you can wait until after that for this important thing.
All right. We've got JR had a statement I want to say. JR says, I wish I could know more about astrology. It seems complicated, but so fascinating. You know how I like to learn is learn it, how the stars affect me.
Yes, that's the best way.
Yeah. And so if you haven't gotten the packet from Lalit with all your information in it, so you can follow along during these evenings, Friday evenings, then I would highly recommend it's Astrology Vibrations with a S at the end at gmail.com, and request that information. You'd love to have a chart
All
package.
free, no strings attached. I will send you your chart and a basic interpretation, and there will be a listing at the top of your, it's a little ebook, and it shows where each planet is located and each house position. So you'll learn to read it and make a little note of these important dates. Like we had the eclipse in the last show we talked about, and then we're having the full moon coming up. Make a list of those dates and jot down some little things like a journal. What happened to you? How are you feeling? What kind of things are you going through? And you can notice the cycles. So when you're seeing these full moons, what's going on with you when and you'll notice how it's activating in your own chart through notations of that sort. So send me an email and I'll get it out to you. And I'm trying to be good here. I'm trying to get everybody's out as fast as I can. So
yeah, but also you need to have your
time, date, place. Time of birth, date of birth, place of birth. If you're not certain of the time, please make a note of that. Say, I'm not positive this is the right time, but maybe it's between 2 and 4 p.m. You could say something of that nature, but date, time, and place.
And also your screen name.
Yes.
And your real name. So she can have your screen name as a tab that she can pull up.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody needs clarification. But to clarify, you were saying a breakup. You're not together now. The break has happened. The break has happened. He's not pursuing you. He's not pursuing you, and he's not answering you or communicating with you. So when someone says, should I break up? What it says to me, that's code for, should I stop loving him? Because the only way I can break up with him is to not care about him anymore. It's a real hard thing. But so to be clear, I know sometimes you think I talk in colors more than words, but I am saying that the breakup has already happened. And so sometimes that is good, because when or if he comes back around as a friend, you can start a relationship with new rules and new regulations and new understandings, because all of this pain in a relationship is from unspoken expectations or assumed expectations. So that quote, if he loves me, he would do the dishes, would take the car in. If they love me, they would do this or that. But look at how you deal with a breakup or any hardship is to remember how it really is now, not what it should feel like because you had that feeling of love, of what is really right now. So I want to be clear with that. I know those are hard words to take. And but I know you said a couple of times that you didn't understand. And I hope, there she is. Apparently she does understand this. And I'm really, really sorry that you're in such pain right now. But like Lalit said, that full moon, after that, then things can start moving along. But it means that you have to wait till that. When is that happening?
Thursday.
Okay, you have to wait.
Or in the morning at California time.
And then move into that. And so that's that. And
so, SR, the one thing that you focus on something that you have that is wonderful in your life, which is your wonderful little son that you have. So you are lucky to have this love that's of the purest, most beautiful thing in the world. So focus that. And if you can manage to have a little bit of gratitude, a little bit of love, that can grow. And then it's when you actually have gratitude and love in your heart that it opens the door to relationships. Because if you are longing and wishing for something, it's not going to happen, because you're in the realm of something that you don't have. And if you're worried, if you're upset because you don't have something, you have closed the door to that. you're pushing against it. So you must start with love and gratitude. And when you can generate that in your heart, then everything will flow and be natural.
Awesome. Yes, Mary Thornberry says, you are loved. Yes, we
You
love
are
you.
loved. You are loved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now I have one more, we're out of time, of course, but I have one more thing to say to Karen Doyle, someone who just got dowsing rods. And those of you who want to pick up a pendulum or use your necklace as a pendulum, and you think, oh, this is kind of sucky because I can only do yes, no questions. That is not true. You play, this is how you do it. You play the 20 questions. If someone calls you and says, am I going to meet someone? And it's yes, then you start the 20 questions. You say, is his age between this and that? Is he tall? Yes or no. Is dark hair? Yes or no. Blue eyes? Yes or no. You start doing you can douse on a lot of stuff. Anything more to add, my dear Lalit, on that?
Yeah, you're learning to ask the right questions and ask good questions is the whole trick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not, it doesn't have to be, you're stuck on something.
Yeah,
so.
and you don't want to have ambiguous questions. They have to be questions that are not ambiguous. So focused questions.
I am thrilled that people are getting into their stuff, their tools. So bring them.
Yeah.
Let me know you have them. And she says, my mom came in fast with the rods. Your mom is like right there. She's taking the ends of those rods and shaking them back and forth saying, I'm so glad you got this. So you've got a gatekeeper on your side. It's Ellie. So I think that is so cool. Anybody who wants to try, when we go into messages, I would like to encourage you to join in on the answers for the questions. What you got? Oh yeah.
You can always do muscle testing also. If you watch Cash Peters, if, like I said, calibrate and say, show me yes. My yes is this. Cash Peters does a thing and he said his yes is that. So I get confused when I watch him. But you see, make sure you know where is yes for yourself. Pull and say, all right, is Kamala Harris going to win this election? Yeah. Okay. Is Donald Trump going to win this election? No. Okay, but you can do that. You can do that. Muscle testing is when you don't have any tools on you. That's always interesting to try and keep.
And I use it as a backup because we all have intuition, but your intuition and your imagination is side by side, and you need your imagination to get into your intuition. So
higher self knows all.
So yes, but I want to make sure I'm in my intuition and not my own imagination. And that's why I use the tools. Yeah. Am I in the right place?
Yeah.
And
breathing. Just clear yourself.
Yep. I love you all. I can't play my little
all right, Deborah. Alien. We're going to get you some music.
Well, yeah, okay. So I'm going to get my camera fixed and and YouTube set down to go my way. But that new moon, I know what I'm going to be doing.
Yes, this is the time. We're going to do it this week.
Love you all.
Love you, Deborah. Love everybody. Thank you so much.
Bless you all.
Breathing. Have a wonderful full moon.